Hi everyone, my name is Taylor, or Yasmin Taylor, but I prefer to be called Taylor, and I'm an artificial intelligence and robotics graduate, and today I'll be here talking about the concept behind driverless cars. So I've named this lightning talk Driving Forward. So in my spare time, well, 9 to 5, I work as an IT service delivery manager for a company called Marco. And to kind of utilize my AI and robotics degree, I kind of YouTube and make silly robots and stuff and talk at colleges just to kind of try and encourage much more women to get in technology. So I'll stop talking, I'll just show you a video of the robot that I built. Okay, here it is. So as you can see, it's not necessarily a car, it's just a robot that, let's just pretend it's a car. And what I did is I just built a maze out of old computer parts. The main concept was, this is my final dissertation. So this was a project based obviously on driverless cars. And I built this by coding it in CSS and also Java and C#. And the robot on the front, if you could see, it has a little camera and also has infrared inbuilt into it. So successfully it goes around the maze. So what it's doing now is trying to find the clearest path to come out of the maze by using object avoidance integrated with infrared technology. The robot's a female, by the way. So as you can see, it's going through the maze successfully without bumping into anything, but the reason why it's going slowly is because the computer parts that are built around it is in black, and it's the infrared technology kind of recognizes black objects as opaque, so it was kind of hard to pick up and find its way out, but it did eventually, or she did. And that will be... Oh, okay, so like I said before, I built this in Java and thank you. So the reason why I chose to kind of make my final year dissertation on driverless cars is because 25 years old and unfortunately I don't drive. So I was kind of just trying to find a loophole to say, oh, do I really have to do my driving test? What about if the car just kind of drives itself for me? So I kind of done this long kind of thesis on driverless cars and the ethics behind it, and then I managed to kind of extract some information on if driverless cars is actually realistic and how close we are actually to becoming people that can drive or be in driverless cars. So we're in the year 2018. I would like to say that this concept of driverless cars will probably be around 2025. So that's fun. So I guess I have to learn how to drive now. And so what I found is what most driverless cars have faced, or the problems, is that manufacturers have made huge progress in making fully automated cars a reality on our roads, but they are still facing technical barriers. So whilst I was doing my dissertation, I noticed that the concept of driverless cars could probably work in countries such as some states of the US, Europe and the UK, and that's because we have the, well, dare I say, we are lucky enough to have different seasons. So infrared technology also works on heat. So if a car was driving, which is driverless, and it picks up heat, it's either a life form, so it will be able to stop. But in hotter countries such as Saudi Arabia or Dubai, the infrared can interfere with the heat and things can happen, and we've had quite a lot of accidents. To prove that, we've got our Tesla test driver called Joshua Brown, became the first person to die in a self-driving car in 2016. He was driving a Tesla on autopilot when in bright sunshine its sensors failed to detect. So that's kind of the stuff that can happen. Also, the manufacturing cost. I think we've come to a point in our society that most of us are quite knowledgeable on AI, artificial intelligence, and robotics. And we've got quite a lot of developers to kind of develop this concept, but we don't have the money to do it. And weirdly enough, it's not the making of the car that's necessarily expensive. It would be changing our global infrastructure. So, I don't know, the roads would have to be changed and added infrared sensors, and that all can be quite costly. And there's also some sort of war between Google and Amazon who could build the best car. So they're kind of still disputing that in a sense. So how safe are driverless cars? So we've still got quite a long way before we can go to drive driverless cars. For instance, roadworks. In April 2015, the manufacturer's Delphi sent an autonomous car on a 3,400-mile trip across the US. in the end, engineers had to take control of the car for 50 miles because of unmarked lanes and roadworks. That car probably cost about £1 million and it kind of got cut because of roadwork. So these are the things that are kind of in the way between us becoming a nation or society that can have driverless cars. That would be all from me. Hope you liked my robot or you liked her, and thank you so much for listening to me.